Hello. Here we are back in the Discovery. It's been 12 months since it last had an MOT, so guess where I'm off to. A bit of a different one this year. So I've had this for nearly 2 years, and it's been brilliant. It's so reliable, not reliable. It's so practical. It does everything. Takes everyone everywhere. Moved house with the thing. I didn't even hire a van to move the contents of a family home. Fortunately, the house was only a couple of minutes away where I was moving, so I didn't make it a big journey. There's lots of trips, but it's just such a good car. It's got presence. It makes you feel good when you get in it. It was so cheap. I don't want to see the back of it. I don't want to say goodbye to it, but at the same time, I've got to be a bit more sensible with this sort of stuff. It was cheap to buy. It's not necessarily cheap to run. The fuel is what am I averaging? 24.3 is my average in this one. It is a diesel. You should be getting better mileage, and all my mileage is local mileage. I don't do big long distances in it, so I wasn't expecting it to be some sort of an economical purchase for fuel. Tax is ridiculous. Hopefully this new Labour government will sort something out and look at the old tax system, because I think it's dramatically unfair for those old vehicles that are going to get taxed off the road, written off with a £700 a year or more tax bill. But the other thing is, for the last 12 months, I've had the engine management light come on. I've got a bit of a hesitation, so it's like a woo at points, and I'm not sure what that is. It could be down to a couple of points. So today, with the engine management light being on, it's not going to get through its MOT. So I don't know 100% what it is that's causing the engine management light to come on. I plugged in diagnostics, and I'm not that clever at using them. I plug it in and see codes and I can clear them. But there is a repeated EGR coming on. Last year for the MOT, it was on and off and on and off, and it was probably off more than it was on. This year, the last 12 months, it's probably been on more than it's been off. Typical fashion though, I booked this day today about a month ago, and it spent more time with that light being off than on. In fact, all day yesterday, when I'm thinking I've got to take a journey to take this car away, the light was off all day. This morning, it's on again, so at least I feel a bit more relieved that I'm not making a big trip today for no reason. Anyway, so I think the EGRs are dying or dead or something. There is a surging which I'm hoping is also related to the EGRs, and then an MOT. So what I'm doing is I'm taking a trip. It's about an hour and a half. I'm not too sure yet whether they'll want me to mention them on my social media or my YouTube or not, or whether they'll want me to do a video. I'll have a chat with them, see what they think. But they're not too hard to find if you look on selling sites. But they're a specialist company. I went to this place in 2011. I had a 2007 Range Rover Sport then. That must have been later than that. So 2007 I had it 6 years. So 2013 I took a Range Rover Sport up to them because the belt was changing. It was still under manufacturer's warranty, and I wanted them to do the job because it was a lot cheaper. Took a trip up there and they did that for me. That's the last time I went. Today, what I'm going to ask them to do is to look over the whole car and give me a bit of a review of anything major that's going to go wrong. Just the other day I changed the top suspension arm I'm pointing over there, on the passenger, so the near side top suspension arm. It's like a wishbone that you get on a regular car, but there's one on the top of the suspension. I could see the ball joint on that was leaking, so that would never have got through an MOT. That got changed, no major dramas other than the company I bought it from on eBay. They sent me the wrong part, completely wrong part, which is a rear one that was picked incorrectly, and the new part that came didn't fit. So fortunately I went through to Paddock Spares, Matlock, who supply Britpart. Britpart came, Britpart came, fitted it, no problems. Didn't bother doing a video because it's not the easiest thing to get your video in to see. There's a couple of videos on YouTube anyway. It's 2 bolts to hold it at the back, 2 bolts to hold it at the front, and a few clips to push in and out. So it's not the hardest thing to do, so it wasn't really worth doing a video for. So beyond that, I don't know if there's anything else major. If I get a list of advisories, I'm completely fine with that. I'm expecting the car, it's done now 154,451 miles. I'm expecting there to be things that need to be looked at. It's had 2 new rear tyres. I put the 19-inch wheels back on it. It's had 2 new rears. The fronts are starting to show a few cracks as well. So I'd probably give the front an advisory. And yeah, let's see. Let's find out what's going on. It's an hour and a half's drive. I'll find out what I can do when I get there, and I'll update you when I know. Right, MOT is done. Bad news is we've got a failure, but the failure is only on two brake pipes. One is the middle section of the brake pipe, and the other is the braided line thingy, what's it, off of one on the driver's side. So no biggie. Because I'm far away, I've taken the car anyway, so it's still got an MOT at the moment because they're not mandatory roadside must repair immediately type things. I'm going to drive it home over the weekend. I can get those pipes sorted. What they have said, they checked a few other bits out for me. There's a couple of little suspension bits. There's a bit of rust, which I was kind of expecting from where I took the side steps off. It's actually left a bit of rust on the sill. That's on there as well. And that's it, nothing major from it. What he also did is sort out my UGRs. They were faulty, as expected, and that's been dealt with. And I've also had a map at the same time, which is it's a blend of performance and efficiency. So I should find that I've got better efficiency as well. On top of that, he suspected it might have been torque converter on the gearbox, but he said, well, give it a flush, see what happens. He's given it a flush and he's dead happy. He said, yeah, that seems like it's cured it. So I've literally just turned a video on as I'm putting away to see my first reactions, first responses to the gearbox flush and the map. And what can we see? And I've now managed to get a whopping great fly. Go on, Chief, off you get. So when we get out of here, off this little sort of country track to where the workshop is, we'll see what the power's like. I'm happy to be honest with the fact that this car is 150 odd thousand miles. It's not mint. It's never gonna be. And if this drives well and it's got a full MOT, it's got to be a keeper. It's got to be a keeper. We'll see what goes. See what goes. Oh, there we go. Back down to normal height. I don't think it was as far down the track actually. But here we go. What else have we got to do? So there's a bit of corrosion on some of the other brake pipes as well. So it's not major. Right, we're on to it. We're going to hit the A19. Gearbox is in sport mode, and away we go. It's pulling smooth. It's not got as much power as I thought it might have, but it's clean. It just pulls very smoothly. I wasn't doing that at all, so yeah, I can't do much more than that. I can't do much more than that until I got to the motorway. So I'll pause the video and check back in on the motorway. Right, we're back on the motorway. I've still got bits of chicken, mayo chicken in my teeth. So we got 60 miles an hour, 1500 RPM. And I put my foot down to the floor, it changes down, feels like a dream. Oh yeah, it's up to slightly above the speed limit. On the little trek through from where I just came out of, what I noted actually, it does pick up quite well. It's still got turbo lag, like you would, it's a V6 diesel, so it's not going to be as instantly responsive as something as other cars might be. Certainly not like the Jag with its supercharger and being petrol. And also the car I got out of that gave me as a courtesy car was a 1.9 TDI Skoda Fabia, and that had been remapped as well. So that drove a lot differently to a massive tank like this. And then what I found is as you learn, you've got to put your foot down and wait for the turbo to kick in, and then it just pulls. and it's put in clean and smooth and so nice. And I don't know whether this is, whether I did a gearbox oil change last year. Yeah, but I didn't get it quite right, and these guys obviously know it really, really well. They've done it. They've flushed the gearbox through, put a bit of transmission fluid in it, and he said that's it. He said he's actually only changed one torque converter, and they've been around for donkeys. I mean, like I said, they've been 10 years in business, at least when I was last there with the Range Rover Sport. So they know the way around them, and they don't go that often. And when they do, they go really, really badly wrong. And it's often the gearbox, not just the torque converter. So, in summary, what I've had done today, the EGRs, getting them sorted is absolutely worthwhile. Oh, that boom noise means I probably just missed my turn off. Whoopsie. EGRs, getting them sorted, definitely get it done. Seek out the best alternative for you. I've decided to leave them in place but get around them, if that makes sense. And then with the gearbox, yeah, get it flushed through, get it properly flushed through, and have some new fluid put in it, because it's made an absolute massive difference to this car. I've got no warning lights on, it's smooth as anything, and I've got 154,000 miles on the clock. Couldn't be happier. So next update to this video, we'll be going for the next MOT, where you'll have a fresh test inspector looking at it, fresh set of oils, and see if we can get his view on it and see what we can come up with. Geez, just looking through your videos trying to figure out like what's going on. In fact, you can see there's a little car in the background. Where is it? Up there. It's a little C1 baby car. That's arrived. Pushed a bit of an update on that as well. That's coming from a friend who bought an Evoque, and the Fiesta that was here, that's gone. That was sold to someone who's dodgy as hell. Anyway, different story. I'm just realising I'm wrapping up a video I did about something else, and I can't even find I did an end of a video that I started, which is now going to be on the end of the video you're currently watching, hopefully. So my Discovery failed its MOT, and I gave you reasons why. Good news was the things it failed on, which were the brake pipes and the other thing that I forgot because it was that long ago. I mean, what is it now? It's October. Anyway, so it failed in the MOT for a couple of bits, got them fixed, straight up to the local garage, and they looked at it, got it for MOT, no problem at all. So we are 12 months of an MOT, no warning lights, it pulls like a train, pulls like a dream. So yeah, they're easy to find, the company. I don't want to put them out there just in case. But if you go and find them, anyone that can do specialist work on this Discovery up in the York area, very, very highly recommended. We've now got another 12 months MOT on the Discovery.